growth, that phrase means figuring out a way to combine the growth of the world economy with environmental realities. And we have to move much faster. It's a slogan right now, it's not a reality. How do we reconcile our economy and our environment, given the fact that today's emerging economies are still growing fast, want to grow fast, deserve to grow fast, are going to use even more resources? Basically, we need to reorient our technologies. Our energy system needs to depend on wind and solar power, not on oil, gas, and coal. But how can we make that transition sufficiently fast to keep our living standards, which we want to do, and to be realistic about the natural environment? So far, we haven't done it. So far, it's been business as usual. A lot of talk about climate change, but not very much change of direction in terms of energy. A lot of the world's leading scientists are worried about an ecological bubble. And by that, they mean that we are depleting natural capital so fast and so hard that even if we don't notice it on the surface, we'll suddenly hit a deep destabilization of the weather, of the rainfall patterns, of temperatures, of ocean dynamics that could be tremendously imperiling. It takes time to reorient our economies, and if we don't make the effort hard and significant and rapidly right now, by the time 2040, 2050 comes along, our economies are going to look a lot like what they look like today in terms of their energy mix. That means that our climate already could be deeply deranged. Well, we need, first of all, a new development paradigm, and I'm hoping that the world's governments, under the Secretary General's lead, will adopt Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, in the post-2015 period. Within that, we need a lot of innovation. Social entrepreneurship, designing new models for how cities work, for how transport systems work, we have new bicycle sharing in Paris or New York or many other cities. This is just an example of how from the grassroots up there can be significant changes in the way we live our lives and therefore our impacts and our sustainability. So I believe that Europe has a basic message which remains correct. It needs to remain dynamic, it needs to remain innovative, it needs to remain in a cutting edge of technology in the future, but it also needs to keep true to its values, which are democratic, social, as well as market-oriented. Free market economy is not enough. It must be combined with a social equality and with social support for families, for education, for healthcare, for childcare, for maternity, for safe environment is extremely important.